issue of PDP and APC, fortunately for us, PDP and APC put together is what the resultant is what we are seeing today. These parties have failed the nation. These parties, under normal circumstances, they have nothing else to say because the 16 years of PDP government was what actually put the foundation of many of the issues that we have today. And that was why, even when I was a founding father of the PDP, but we realized over the years that it failed the nation, and therefore we thought of bringing new party, new ideas, a progressive party. That was the APC. Unfortunately, even during the first 4 years of APC, unfortunately, it derailed. And that was why we decided that these two parties have failed the country, and therefore we thought of getting a solution. And the solution we came up with is this New Nigeria Party. New Nigeria People's Party is a solution because outside the PDP and APC, we are the only national party that is in all the nooks and corners of this country. And I'm so happy with people. One, in northern Nigeria, everybody knows that we're extremely strong. Here, I'm happy we are coming up. We could see the people that are in the party. And we are also lucky to have very strong, respected and upright candidates in all the positions across the country, including Delta State. And yesterday we had a meeting on how to move the party forward, and I'm so happy with that meeting. And I have no doubt in my mind that it's just a matter of just little time that our party, NNPP, will continue to grow from strength to strength. First of all, the first cure is leadership. We noted that over the years, we are completely different people. Many of them have no capacity. They just found themselves in government at national and states and even at local government. So that lack of capacity, lack of integrity, and of course, lack of love for the people. Many of them are only interested in what they can get, or what they can benefit for themselves, for their family, and the few people that are helping them to do the negative things for the country. So that's the major thing. I'm sure everybody knows our antecedents. I was opportune to be in many places, ranging from the civil service that I started and left the civil service after 17 years as a principal water engineer. And I was, as you rightly pointed out, Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps in 1992. And I was in the Constitutional Conference of 1994-95. I was Governor 1999 to 2003. And also Minister of Defense and advisor to President on Darfur and Somalia from 2003 to 2007. 2007, I was in NDDC representing Northwest. And I went back to Kano after 8 years out of government house in Kano as a second-term governor. And thereafter, I contested and became a senator representing Kano Central. And I left Senate 2019, and I'm so happy that since then we are working towards the establishment of new order, new arrangement, new party for this country. And I believe that everybody in this country is looking for a way out. And the only way out of this status quo, which has failed the nation, is the New Nigeria People's Party. It's inconsequential, nothing, absolutely nothing. You see, are people who are really out of touch of realities on the ground. The young men and women today are looking for a way out, and they have more facts than anybody who can endorse candidates. And you see, we saw some endorsements, but I'm happy to say that I am being endorsed by the masses of this country. These are the people who are at the grassroots level. And that's why every day we're on the roads, seeing the people, talking to them. If you just sit and say you endorse somebody, it doesn't work that way. We're past that level. It's something that is just in the past. Now we have new faces, young men and women who don't understand or know many people in this country. What they know is that it's null and void as far as we are concerned. And many people, including the endorsers, are out for shock in 2023 election. Many people will be surprised. People in the air who don't even know what is happening on the ground. Some of these guys are going roaming around, saying they will continue the status quo. How? Which status quo? Status quo is dead. It's not something that is helping anybody, and that's why the young men and women, in fact the entire people of this country, have got every reason to say they want to change the status quo because it's not working. You see, the formation of PDP was purely based on the fact that we wanted to kick out military in 1998, and we successfully done that. But what followed was a big concern to all of us, because we had people from extreme left right through to extreme right, and it was only when we formed government, especially me in Kano, that I realized I was working together with the wrong people who hate the masses, the talakawas of the country, especially in Kano. So we tried to manage it, but you could remember that I even lost the election in 2003. And that was one of the factors, one of the reasons. Because when we talk of water supply, they wanted to supply water through boreholes to their houses and take the remaining money. If we talk of education, they just want to take money and send their children to overseas and keep the remaining money either in the country or put it elsewhere, and so on and so forth. So the katakata started after forming government in 1999. And by 2013-14, we realized that there was no way we could cohabit with many of them, and they're still there in PDP. So that's why we thought there was need for change. And that was why the five of us, as you rightly pointed out, decided to start the APC. We started it, a progressive party, believing that Nigeria would be better. But at the end of the day, everybody, especially in PDP, now believe that APC is even worse than the PDP. And therefore, that's initially how PDP wanted to win election, to compare bad and very bad. PDP bad, APC very bad. Until we came on board to change the narrative, that's the thinking. Now we have a new idea based on our track record, our capacity and integrity over the years. People, the masses, mainly in the northern part of the country. Now, the difference between north and south in this context is that in the north, they know us. They know what we stand for. They know our performance. They know us very well. In the south, yes, you say my name is household here, which is okay, but deep down they don't know what Kwankwaso stands for, and that's why we are here, and that's why I'm talking to you. So now we have realized that PDP was a good party based on kicking out the military. Everybody came from all over the country, left, right, and center, and we succeeded in sending the military away from government houses. But now we have a serious problem in our hands based on the fact that the two parties mismanaged this country. And I'm so happy that now we have an opportunity for politicians, and we have opportunity also for the people of this country, especially the young men and women. Now, let me say that here I have the blueprint. This blueprint are able to come up with some brilliant ideas. I believe this is the best ever in this country. We looked at issues and we came out with solutions ranging from education to security, infrastructure, economy. All sorts of things are being handled in this 152-page document. Now, on the issue of security, I'm happy to say, as former Minister of Defense, we came up based on our experiences here in the country and elsewhere in Africa and across the world. We noted that the number of military is much smaller than it should be, going by our population and landmass. So we are increasing the number from 250,000 to about 1 million. So also the police, we are going to multiply the number by 4. So that we can have enough security. We train them and retrain them. We provide them with modern equipments, IT-based equipments, and so on and so forth, so that all the security issues that we have, we believe that with that number and quality and support from government of the welfare of the officers and men, we believe that we are going to secure the country so that everybody can live comfortably in this country. Now, we also formed what we call Community Participation and Reorientation Committee, which is very important. That committee is going to be in each of the 8,809 wards across the country. We have 11 people there, best 11 as we call them, and these are things that we have done in Kano for 8 years, and it worked so well, and everybody is happy about the community participation and reorientation committees. Now, we select 11 people: the traditional ruler, the klagi or imam, the case may be, representative of women, representative of young men, and of course representative of students, PTA, representative of our party, which is the chairman of the party at the ward, and another chairman of another party, and put together we have 11 people, and federal government will finance that committee directly through legislation. And we believe, as we've done in Kano, the committee will decide on what to do with the resources in their wards. We are expecting everybody, each committee, to look at the issue of education. As we are going around, we have seen our schools across the country. You find at least one dilapidated block in each of our schools, primary schools, both north and south. Some, they have only one block of 2 classes, and if you ask, they will tell you the school is over 20 years, meaning we have more than 2 sets. So they build classes, build dispensaries, clinics, employ on temporary basis teachers to teach, because we want to start immediately. We will not wait for the local governments, we will not wait for the states, because many of them don't understand. Some of them may not even be in your party. So all these things, we want immediate change. And we use the CPRC in terms of screening of the military that we are going to engage, use them for screening of the police and other security agencies, and help us in terms of information and so on from their communities. So we are going to engage everybody at the local wards, the similar committee in the local governments, similar committee in the states, and of course we have one at the national level. So we are so happy that we have that committee. And in education, so much is there. We are going to produce or to build over 500,000 classrooms in just 4 years. We are going to mop up all these out-of-school children. We have about 20 million now. Everybody must go to school as we have done in Kano. We are going to improve our facilities in our tertiary institutions in terms of buildings, in terms of equipments, in terms of teaching facilities, and of course the quality of the teachers or lecturers of the tertiary institutions. So we have a comprehensive plan, and ours is that, as we did in Kano, no child will be left out of school because of the status of his father or his family in terms of economy. That is why we have decided to do away with the issue of payments on NECO, on WAEC, and even JAMB. For us, government must take responsibility to get the best into our universities. And we have a lot of money. Now look, our approval now by OPEC is to produce 2.2 million barrels. Until recently, we are not even producing 1 million. Now we are producing just about 1 million. Why is it over 1 million barrels? It's just taken away by criminals. Look at our solid minerals. All areas that you hear people are fighting, Zamfara, Katsina, Kebbi, it's just about solid minerals. They are just taking them. Just come, boom, with a helicopter, take whatever gold and other things, ferry them out of the country. We will not allow that. And this number of military will use them. I'm a civil engineer myself. I have PhD in civil engineering. We are going to use the military, especially in difficult areas, in forests, in areas with insecurity, like Birnungwari and Kaduna State area, like Zamfara, like Katsina. We go and start constructing roads. Everybody is armed. And of course, we'll sit down. We want to sit down as everybody. Those who are complaining, those who have grudges, we'll be happy to talk to them. But if you say you don't have school in your places, that's why you are fighting, we'll give you school. If you say you have this problem and it's something that the government should do, we do it. But what we will not accept is a situation whereby some Nigerians will, because of their reasons, take arms against fellow Nigerians. That got to stop. It's not acceptable to us as NNPP, as government. So we have a lot of arrangements, a lot of plans for job creation, improvement of economy, production locally, improvement of power, securing our country, and so on. And we have so many plans, and time will not actually permit. You see, that time when Labour came, there was this social media hype. Everybody was talking of Obi. You see, we have been in the game for some time now. Even if I'm not contesting election, I know the right material that should be the president of this country under this circumstance. Now, of course, there was a meeting initially. But when the issue came, who will be the president, who will be the vice president, I think that was the main thing that stole the whole discussion. Our team believed that there should be criteria, certainly not based on sentiments. Sentiments are everywhere. But people have got their own, different people have got different way of expressing their sentiments. There are people at that time who believe that they never had a chance to be president, and they are very worried. They wanted their own to be president. But those of us from that angle, we believe that at this difficult time, president should not come based on ethnicity or religion. I'm not contesting to become president because I'm a Hausaman or I'm a Muslim or I come from Kano. No, I am a well-prepared person. And I even said it, and I can even tell you now, if there is anybody who thinks in terms of education, in terms of quality, in terms of capacity, in terms of integrity, is better than Rabi Kwankwaso, let's debate it. If he is better, I will withdraw and allow him to go. You just don't come because in Kano people are saying they must have president. We have been supporting presidents over the years. We always go for the best. I can tell you that when I was Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps, we supported Abiola against Bashir Tofa. I came from the same polling booth with Tofa, same place where we were voting in Kano that time, in Gandu Albasa in Kano. But we rejected him because we believe Abiola could do a better job at that time. Even Obasanjo, who is endorsing Peter, we had Rimi from Kano. He's a good man. I'm sure all of you know him. He had the capacity, he had what it takes. He was former governor, former minister, and former almost everything. But at that time, we believe Obasanjo, a Christian from the southwest, was in a better position to handle the issues of the country. We supported him. When we went to Jos, I was governor-elect at that time. And we rejected Rimi, our own, to support Obasanjo, a Christian Yoruba man. So our party is not based on religion or ethnic. We want the best. Anybody who thinks he will be president because of his religion or because of his ethnicity, we will see. And I think people will be shocked in 2023. We don't just go and start talking just like that in the party. Look, now people are looking for the best, not their own. And those of us who have been in the system now, I can tell you, I supported Obasanjo. At the end of the day, I lost the election because of his own struggle in Kano. And he gave me Minister of Defense. But in 2015, I worked so hard for my own, if that is the right word, for Buhari. Immediately he won the election. I brought 1.9 million votes plus from Kano, the highest in anybody in the history of this country. What did I get? Nothing. Enemy. You see, people don't understand politics. And you see, even if I am not contesting election, I want to see somebody who's proven record, whose capacity. In fact, many people now are saying if they can hire somebody outside the country to come and kick out this mess that we have, this nonsense that is happening in this country, they will be very happy to bring somebody on contract to do the job. Now people in the IDPs, people who are now in the hospitals, are not looking for their brother. Maybe their brother is there, but they are in a total mess. So we want capacity now. And those who are looking for their own because of their tribe, they are making the mistake. And we told them that they should be strategic. We have been strategic. I have been preparing myself over the years, and people should prepare themselves and prove themselves over the years so that everybody, north and south, will say, yes, this is the man. Like we have seen in Obasanjo, like we have seen in MK Abiola. We worked in the north for Obasanjo. That time, you remember, even Southwest didn't vote for him. But we voted for him. We supported him to be president in 1999. So it's not an issue of endorsement or somebody that is tribe is complaining. They should encourage their own to be the best. And when we have the best, we know them. We are the people in the game. We know ourselves. We know those who are just talking. You go there with your figures, maybe wrong figures, maybe, and say you want to be president. How? Where? That's why in our consular conference of 94-95, we insisted on this 25% or in 24 states in the country. Meaning you can't win an election because you are a Christian or Muslim alone. You cannot win an election because you are from the south or from the north. Even north with 19 states, we still need 5 in the south. That's why I'm here. Able to lock northern Nigeria. No candidate. You see all these things, guys. One of them is in Kano now. Just say he wants to Kano to listen to music. What business do we have music in Kano? Big mistake. You brought instead of telling us, I'm telling you what we intend to do. If we have time, I will tell you from page 1 to 152 pages now. what we have for Nigerians. So people are, in fact, some of them, you begin to wonder why they are being unfair to themselves. If you are sick, you are sick. If you are too old, you are too old. If you cannot do it, you cannot do it. You cannot cheat yourself, the family, and even the country. So I think people should always put themselves on a scale, and especially the people around them who ordinarily should know that Nigerians want change today, but you find them, it's ridiculous to me, really. Many of our colleagues have disappointed us. You are seeing danger, you are supporting it, and you say, okay, this is the man. And everybody knows the truth. You are telling lies, and you call yourself either former governor, former minister, former this, former that. So my appeal to Nigerians, and I think is very critical at this point, is let them try and do the right thing. What we need in this country is the best material for the job. And I believe that if people decide to make a mistake deliberately, I mean, don't blame anybody. Whatever happens, you just blame yourself. We have examples in this country. We had president who was elected. Everybody knew he had issues with his health. At the end of the day, he died in active service, and that's the beginning, the foundation of the problems that we are seeing today. And even this president spent a lot of time out of the country looking for medication, taking care of himself, wanting to help himself. And people here are looking for help from president. He's not there. So you see, these are things that people have to be very serious about. It's not a matter of the vehicles they are given to them, not a matter of money they are collecting just for themselves and their family. Some of them have got a lot, but right in them, they never think of thanking Almighty God and think of their children. They are using people's money. You go around the streets, you see posters, you see banners, you see. Where do they get the money? They use local government money. Local governments have nothing. And now they are just putting their faces, not knowing that people hate their faces. They don't want to see their faces on the streets. People are looking for change. Yes. And that's why we're here. Niger Delta, as I told you, I was on the board of NDDC. And I had to resign my appointment in anger because of the level of corruption. I told Jonathan, President Jonathan that time, he was very angry with me. I say there was no way I can stay for one more minute in Niger Delta Development Commission. Money was being shed, thieves are taking everything. That's why I left. He was very angry with me. He said, okay, why did you leave the letter to press? I said, I had to, sir. Now, at the end of the day, within a few months after that, he called me. On that day, he said I should give him my replacement. I said, no. It's a bad place, I can't recommend anybody. He insisted. Okay, I gave him my party chairman. My party chairman took my seat. Within a few months, he dissolved the board. When I met him, I said, President, if you had done that when I resigned and told you, you would have saved something for NDDC. Now, this part of this country has collected so much, ranging from the 13%. I was part of the 13% supporters in the Constitutional Conference. We put it there with General Shehu Musa Adwa in the conference. So we wanted this place to be developed. We want this place to be green, to be clean. We want sons and daughters of people from NDDC to say, yes, we had to put it the way you did. This is where the goose is laying the eggs. So there is too much corruption in the NDC, and nothing has been done. Up till now, it's the same story. So I know the problems. I know the issues. And we have the solution, and we mention it there. The money collected by the local governments, by the state governments, by the 13%, by royalties, by Ministry of Niger Delta, by this amnesty, all sorts of money. If you go around, nothing. We came right from Edo State to this place. Now we are cutting across to go out. Just nothing. The shrubs are the same. Some of the trees, since the days of Opara, when they are planting these tall things, you hardly see any modern irrigation, modern plantation, modern poultry or livestock thing. Nothing. Where is the money? What have they done with it? You go to Kano. In Kano, 8 years, I did not borrow 1 naira. I used the money, local, IGR and the FARC money. All what we have done in Kano. Kano is more or less a modern city now, with flyovers, with underpasses, with street lights, dualized roads, walkways, and all sorts of things. Modern city. Now, if you take what I built in Kano, it will go back to maybe 70 years time now. So there is money in this country, and anybody who says there is no money is either part of the looting or he doesn't understand. So that's what we tell our friends, our colleagues, and that's why we want change. If we have change, look, we sent over 3,000 Kano residents in 4 years into 14 countries. Over 3,000 young men and women. We built 2 universities, Kano University of Science and Technology and Northwest University, one of the best universities that we have today in this country. We established 26 institutes. We electrified over 400 towns and villages, uncountable number of bridges and across towns and villages in Kano. So you can go on and on. Free education. Nobody was paying anything because of the sons and daughters of the poor. Here what we have is just the rich, and that's the policy of PDP and APC. When we are there, we are different. That's why we have to pack our things and establish a party consistent of people of integrity, people who want to move this country forward.